Hey, welcome to the June 25th, 2025 meeting of the Rotary Club of San Dimas. Today is the last meeting of the Rotary year. We will pick up July 1st with the next Rotary year, a new president, a new board of directors, a whole new deal. But the outgoing president has taken the day off and the incoming president hasn't shown up. So as the immediate past president, I'm going to get this ball rolling. So let's first go around the room and introduce our Rotarians, beginning with Sylvia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sylvia Melendez. I'm the CEO of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Awesome. Glenn Johnson.
I'm Glenn Johnson, member of the Satellite Rotary Club for Military Family Support.
Awesome. And Casey Cox.
All right. I'm Casey Cox. Glad to be here. Been a Rotarian for over a decade now, maybe 12 years or so, and happy to see where we're going today and looking at Raymond lead us on.
Excellent. Hey, Marianne, how about you?
I'm Marianne Kistler. I've been a member of Rotary probably over 30 years, and I'm glad to be here.
And my name is Raymond Foster. I am this club secretary. You know what, Marianne, every time you say you've been over 30 years, we look it up and it's more like 35 years. So I'm the second longest Rotarian in the club. I remember when we actually met in person, so that makes me a pretty old Rotarian too. So our guest today, we have with us Christine Alcala of Hope Through Housing Foundation. In 1998, the Hope Through Housing Foundation was founded with the mission of empowering residents. The National Community Renaissance National Corps, one of the nation's largest non-profitable affording housing developers. By the mid-90s, National Corps had earned a strong reputation for revitalizing distressed neighborhoods plagued by poverty, crime, neglect, and creating safe, quality apartment communities for residents. Recognizing the need to do more for children, families, and seniors living within these communities, the Hope Through Housing Foundation was created as an independent nonprofit. Its aim was to provide a comprehensive range of educational and charitable programs to support children, young adults, low-income families, and seniors, improving their lives and empowering them to reach their full potential. We have with us today Christine Alcala. Her passion and commitment to the breaking for the cycle of generational poverty has spanned more than 2 decades in the education and housing industry. As the manager of resident services for Hope Through Housing, she is responsible for implementation and coordinating quality services to low-income families and seniors living within and around National Corps affordable housing developments throughout the Los Angeles region. Christine, a certified facilitator in getting ahead in just getting by, shares the curriculum that supports people in poverty as they create their own plan for their stability. Working with families throughout Los Angeles County, Riverside, and San Bernardino, her mission is and always has been to transform the lives and communities she serves. At this time, her mission as manager of resident services is to make a meaningful and lasting impact on individuals and communities she touches by embodying the principles of excellence, engagement, and empowerment. Christina, welcome to the Rotary Club of San Dimas. We're excited to have you here and to hear about Hope Through Housing.
Thank you so much for having me today. Fun fact, in 2001, I received Teacher of the Year at KinderCare right there off of Via Verde in San Dimas.
Oh.
So yes, so
congratulations.
Thank you so much. So as we jump into this presentation, I'd actually like to start off by sharing a video of one of our residents. He is a resident at the Veterans Park location in Pomona, and his name is Mike. So if you give me a second, I will share that video with you. And if you can give me a thumbs up that it's up and you hear it, that would be great.
This place to me is nothing less than a godsend. From where I come from, I never dreamed of being in a place like this. I was on the street approximately 10 years, and when I came in, I see my apartment. I almost fell down. I'm like, are you kidding me? The place is beautiful. They give the furniture, everything, it was already here. I couldn't have done that with the money that I get. There's no way. To move into this community, to have a bed and everything that I have now, if it wasn't for this place, well, I don't know what I would have done. They saved me because of my disability. I couldn't be on the street now. My name is Mike Moore. I've been living here a little over 2 years. I have metal through my body, titanium knee. This knee, the only thing that's holding it together is this brace. I have metal in my ankles. I have no circulation in my legs. Yeah, I can still walk, but not very well. I use a rollator walker or my cane. Between my retirement and the VA, a lot of that stuff I had, but I could never get there or use it. But being here, I'm able to do that now. Just the help, which I never had before. From the office, Lillian, she's the one that always helps me. Any kind of the letters that I get, I don't understand. She can go online, because I'm old school. I don't do computer and none of that. Melody, she's always there to assist me. Any kind of help I need, they're here for me. I have a HSS worker. She helps me do just about anything. She takes me to doctor's appointments, takes me shopping, she cleans, she cooks my meals, and has them ready for me, so I don't have to do anything but nuke it. They treat you with respect, because, well, they know you're a vet. They're like family. They have barbecues where all the people get together. Thank you, Melody. This place put me back together, whether I walk or not. Like I said, this place is a godsend for me.
So that is Mike. And he's just one of our many stories that I wanted to share that with you so that you get an understanding as I'm going through the presentation of all the services we provide. Now, for him, he had a lot of different providers. So those were not all the services that we provided only, but he had IHSS, he has Volunteers of America, he has VA. So every community does look a little bit different, but that's Mike's story. So I will go ahead and share my presentation now. And so again, my name is Christine Alcala. I am the Manager of Resident Services with Hope Through Housing. And we have National Core. So National Core is a property management company. They are the largest affordable housing developer, and they have created Hope Through Housing. So they started in 1992, and then we started in 1998. National Core is focused on transforming the economic and social future of communities by building quality, affordable housing combined with best practical social services. So as you can see, all of our communities just look lovely. As you pass by, you would never think that it's a low-income property, and that's exactly what we want to do for our residents. We want to give them a place where they are proud to bring in their guests, their families, and call it home. National Core, as I said, is one of the largest affordable housing developers. We have 87 affordable housing developments throughout Southern California, Texas, and Florida, and we are growing. In California, we are in Inland Empire, Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, Riverside, and Solano County. We currently have 10 new projects under construction. In our portfolio, we have over 10,000 apartment units. And again, we do serve low-income residents. So as of about a few months ago, it was over 27,000 residents in our properties. So how does Hope Through Housing tie into National Core? Well, again, the developers were really excited to provide these amazing properties to the residents, but then they wanted to do more. They realized that really to help the residents succeed, they needed some type of social service connection. And rather than just refer them out, they created the amazing Hope Through Housing. So our focus is to aim to deliver and coordinate community services for residents that are designed to help them stabilize their lives, also to pursue new and economic social opportunities for them, to help them achieve better quality of life, not just through the affordable housing, but through the social connections, the services, and the systems that help residents as well as the communities. What is the philosophy of Hope Through Housing? Well, for more than 25 years, Hope has been proud to provide the residents of affordable housing for National Core. We provide free services that boost academic success for all the children in the properties. We promote financial literacy, support senior wellness. We just want to engage to help the whole person succeed. Every program that we provide is rooted in one mission, and that mission is to break the cycle of poverty and bring hope to every home. Hope Through Housing believes that affordable housing can be a platform for transformational change. So that's what we really focus on. We want our interaction with our residents to be transformational, not just transactional. We don't want them to come meet with the service coordinator and just do paperwork and walk away. We really want to engage with our residents, and we focus on making transformational change with them. We meet all residents where they're at. They all come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and so we meet every resident with where they're at. For the children in the households, we know that economic and social security and stability is very important for them. We want them to grow. We want to give them a better chance to succeed in school. We want to break those cycles of generational poverty. So again, all the activities, all the workshops, and all the support is focused around that. And then for the neighborhood level, well, the affordable housing sites can be hubs for the community. Since they are beautiful, all of them are beautiful locations. They're all placed within walking distance of transportation for our residents that don't have transportation, so they can use public transportation. There's lots of investments and financially and social growth for the area based on our properties and all that we do for the community. So the mission for Hope Through Housing is pretty simple. It's dedicated to breaking the cycle of generational poverty by implementing programs that empower individuals and change communities. This quote that we have here is something that when I was a service coordinator, I would really try to get residents to focus on, because it was a launching pad. We wanted it to be a launching pad and not a landing pad, meaning we wanted them to utilize the fact that they were saving money on the housing and put that towards, a savings or towards some type of investment, towards their education. We want them to move forward. We want them to become homeowners one day. So again, we tell them that this is a launching pad and not a landing pad. There are 4 pillars of hope that Hope Through Housing focuses on. And again, each one is rooted with the mission to break the cycle of generational poverty and bring hope to homes. So the first one is building bright futures. So when I came into National Core and Hope Through Housing, coming from education, I was really excited to see how much they focus on building bright futures. We have fundraisers so that we can provide scholarships for our residents, not just young high school graduates, but also for adults that are going back to school. But specifically for building bright futures, we help children and teens achieve success. The second pillar is pathways to economic empowerment. These are all the resources and all the classes and support that we provide to our residents to help them create economic mobility for all the families. Our third pillar is connections to care. So it's maintaining senior health and wellness. All the properties for our seniors are independent living, but we want to be there to provide them with the resources that they may need. And then our fourth pillar is unlocking opportunities. And this is to promote independence and stability for some of the residents that were previously unhoused. So those are the 4 pillars. And now I'll talk a little bit about each one. So building bright futures, here you see our service coordinator, Miss Joseph. She works out of Rancho Cucamonga. She actually had one of the NBA players come out to her property this week and have those career conversations with the young students, share stories about how maybe they also grew up in poverty and how it's not far-fetched to dream big. Building Bright Futures is an initiative to expand on the success of Hope Through Housing's youth programs by improving character development, increase college and career readiness, and just talk about all those opportunities that they may have, and all the opportunities that we bring to them. We do have partnerships with YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. We host lots of events there at our program. So currently in July and August, we have back to school events at all of our properties. So we partner with community partners and donors to try to get backpack supplies, because we want to make sure that every child that starts the school year off this coming school year has all the tools they need to succeed. Again, the career conversations we're always having we bring in partners and we allow them to share their stories. We host lots of great holiday events to bring families together, to share meals together, to even provide gifts for children that maybe might not be able to get gifts other places. I'm going to read this quote from one of our high school students. There's a lot of fights at my high school, and I don't really get along with my mom and siblings. So I look forward to hanging out at the after-school program because I know I have a place to go that's fun and safe. I mean, how amazing is it for the parents, whether they're single or, working or going to school, to know that at the end of the day, their child is there right downstairs in the after-school program at the property, and they can just pick them up from there. So to me, I think this is such a valuable resource for our residents, for our adult residents. These statistics are pretty amazing for our residents and the young children in our programs. 81% of them plan to graduate from high school and pursue college career training. 80% of them have career aspirations. 73% of them, after enrolling in our programs, do better in school. 72% get their homework done on time, and that's because we are focused on making sure that they have at least an hour in that after-school program to get that tutoring, to get that help from their teachers there on site, and get their homework done on time. Here are some pictures I'd like to share. You can see pictures of our back-to-school event, of our holiday event where a young little girl received a bike. We have different activities to help beautify our properties. And then again, always enforcing and trying to educate children that there is a bright future for them. Remembering that many of these children come from that cycle of poverty, this is like a whole new world for them. It's really great to see them be on site and see the impact that this specific pillar has on the young children. Our second pillar, which is pathways to economic empowerment. So with pathways, we really focus on helping residents become financially capable of taking care of their budget, of understanding the needs versus wants. So we do this by having pathways. Pathways provides opportunity for residents to learn about budgeting, credit repair, resume building, job search, job support, and so many other programs that they offer. And it's really just to change the long-term financial and healthy habits to overcome, again, that cycle of poverty. So we do have different classes. We do have a program where they get to save money. They get to enroll in a class called Money Match, and they follow this plan that they create with the Pathways team. And if they stay on point and they save out the amount that they're supposed to, it's matched. There is a maximum, of course, but it is matched. And then we hold like a great graduation ceremony for them, because it is very hard for a lot of people to save money. And if you've never had those tools, even saving $20 a month might be such a big, it might be a barrier for some people. They might see it as a barrier, but Pathways helps them to realize that whatever their goal is to save, we're there to support them. And we want to educate them on how to do that. So currently, 57% of our residents are establishing a household budget. 43% are working to decrease debt. 69% are working to improve their credit score, and 49% are saving to build assets. Ultimately, we want to get all of our residents on that path to home ownership. So we bring in lots of partners to host different classes, in addition to having Pathways as one of our tools for them. Our third pillar, and also the second one of my favorites, is the senior health and wellness connections to care. Maintaining senior health and wellness. Currently, most of our senior residents struggle with their most basic needs. For most residents are struggling with food security. They're also dealing with chronic conditions. Sometimes they don't want to leave their apartment just because, it's too hard for them to walk downstairs, or they might just not be wanting to socially engage with other people. So, us being there in their community on site really helps the seniors stay connected for not just for their physical well-being, but also their mental well-being. So I'm reading a quote from one of our residents at our Hawthorne property. She says, she, referring to our service coordinator, Stephanie, is always there to help me and make sure that I am doing okay. Because our service coordinators are amazing at what they do, when they notice that there isn't a resident that's coming downstairs for coffee or not attending the events, or maybe another resident shares like, hey, this resident's not feeling well, we will actually go to the door if they're not answering their phone calls and just do a wellness check. We want to make sure all of our seniors are doing well. And we know that a lot of them don't like to come out, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to engage with them. Overall, we've provided 3,500 hours of health and fitness classes. That includes exercise, cooking, and we do health screenings as well. We also have partnerships with different colleges. So, for example, Cal State Fullerton sends over their nurses, and they also host educational workshops there on site and do screenings. We have provided 3,542 activities to reduce social isolation and encourage engagement. 1 in 3 senior residents receive direct service coordination and referrals. So that's any type of referral that they share with their service coordinator they might need. Maybe they need connection to a food bank for mental health, utility assistance. We're always there to try to make those connections for all of our residents. Our last pillar is unlocking opportunities. With this pillar, we foster stability and independence for formerly homeless residents and special populations. We deliver and we use best practice approaches to emerge vulnerable populations. We focus on the individual, where they're at, their background, their culture, what their needs are, and what they want to do. Again, we honor personal choice. We apply proven models for recovery, resiliency, and overall well-being for residents living with permanent supportive housing. Currently, we have 199 apartment homes for vulnerable populations. We have 181 permanent supportive housing units under construction at this time. And we have 148 partners within the Hope Through Housing Foundation service network, including health centers, food banks, youth services, and more. And that number grows very, very quickly as service coordinators get their feet on the ground and start to make those connections in the communities. Here specifically, I wanted to share with you Veterans Park, which is located right near downtown Pomona. It has 60 units, and those 60 units are focused exclusively for our military veterans and their families. It's a beautiful property. It's when you walk in there, you feel this sense of pride for all the residents, even though some of them were formerly unhoused. They come there, and like you heard from Mike, he's overwhelmed with gratitude and just very surprised at how beautiful their apartments are and how beautiful the community is. Each property will have a service coordinator from Hope Through Housing, as well as a property management team from National Corps. All together, we work together to provide the veterans and all residents with any resources that they may need. Here I have a couple links. So if someone was interested to find out about our properties, you can go on to the National Corps website and check out portfolios. And for us specifically, we'd go under California. You'd see all the communities there. And then if there is a waiting list that is open, it'll tell you can apply. I always encourage residents or people that are looking for housing to actually go on the portfolio, grab the phone number of the property they're interested in, and make the phone call to the property management company. that's on site there to find out a little bit more about the waiting list, to find out about maybe they have information of other properties that are accepting people at that time. So those are the two websites. National Core and Hope Through Housing are very proud to partner with the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs and Department of Housing and Urban Development to ensure that our nation's veterans have a place to lay their heads. It's very important to National Core that we meet the needs of our veterans that are unhoused. And we know that this number is getting larger by the day. So the more properties that we can provide to focus on helping our veterans get housed, the better for everybody, really. Currently, the number, and it's probably a little bit higher now, is that there's over 30,000 veterans lacking stable housing. So again, we do take pride in providing these beautiful properties. You can see all these beautiful properties on your screen. These are all, these are all focused on our veteran properties. So we have quite a few in San Diego. We have one coming out in 2026 in Pacific Beach. And I wanted to share pictures from our Memorial Day event at Veterans Park. So you can just see the veterans that came out. They were very excited. They were able to receive some free hats from one of our local partners. They were receiving hygiene kits. We also had the Empire Strikers, a soccer team in Ontario, come out and show off their moves and do giveaways for the seniors. So that's a sense of community that we provide at all of our properties. But wanted to share these specific pictures so you have an understanding of exactly how we impact the families that we serve. How can you help? Well, I hope that you were able to hear enough information to feel maybe moved or compelled, or at least to share our information with other people. We're always looking for volunteers. Currently, we have, like I said, back to school events going out all of our properties, and each property looks a little bit different, but back to school events are huge. That's one of the events that brings a lot of our families out. We will provide each child that's going to school with backpack and school supplies. So we always need volunteers to help us with those types of events. We're also always looking for collections and donations, anything from school supplies, holiday gifts, gift cards to raffle off at our events, care bags, snacks, water, you name it, we can use it, as we are always providing services to our residents. Like, for example, this month in July, our focus for seniors is fall prevention. So we'll do a number of different activities. We might do a chair Zumba, which will help them to focus on fall prevention. We might bring in a nurse to talk about ways that they can protect themselves in their home. And then at our family properties, the theme is active lifestyles and outdoor fun. So we'll share resources of what's going on in that city, some free summer events, let them know where the free lunch programs are. So we're always just utilizing our resources as well. And so the more resources that we have coming in for us, the better, to help us provide everything we can for our residents. There is a link here that you can click on to donate. You can donate just in general to Hope Through Housing and National Core, or if you wanted to donate specifically to Veterans Park, you can also indicate the property as Veterans Park. Circle of Hope and Hope Through Housing, and we also have Women of Hope. We're always looking to fundraise, to promote education about our programs so that we can continue to provide outstanding services for our residents. And I have included my email address here. If you had any questions, if you wanted to volunteer, if there's anything that I can assist you with, you can always reach out to me specifically, and I might be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Okay, there we go. So, if you'd, let's see here now. So Mike, I think that you made it in. In fact, I see you here somewhere. If you want to take the meeting or you want me to keep going with it, brother, you let me know what you want me to do.
Oh, just go ahead and run with it. Sorry, my dentist appointment ran a little late.
We were all behind. I explained to our guests, we were all and multiple things today. So I'll lead off with the questions. We have done so much over the period of time with our club. But can you tell us, you got a real history with this. Can you give us one thing, the most important thing or a primary thing for breaking the generational cycle of poverty? What one thing could we focus on?
I think just helping the residents realize what resources are in your community. So if there's free lunch programs, I always tell community partners, let their residents know what's available to them, what's free, because once they are aware what's in their community, they might not use it right then and there, but somewhere down the line, they're going to need that resource. And I always encourage my residents, every resource, I tell them, have your resource notebook open and write it down, because just like all of us, we're going to be like, oh, I remember one day Mike mentioned this resource, and we're not going to remember what it is, right? So it's always about sharing our resources with the residents. And also, just with rent being so high, doing whatever we can to help that whole system.
Are there questions among the team here?
I have a question. So I really I love the concept of this is a launch pad, not a landing pad, because I think it's just so great that this isn't something that you're seeking to be a permanent solution, but to temporarily house and then educate and help to get that person to the next level, to be able, like you said, to achieve home ownership, or to be more self-sufficient, or to move on. Do you have any sort of information on like success rates, or like people being able to, launch from these facilities into home ownership, or onto a different living situation?
I don't have that data with me, but I can find it. But I know just for myself personally, I used to cover 4 properties in Riverside and Corona, and that conversation kind of starts from day one. Like, what is your goal? What are your goals? And then we work towards that, right? Because for some people, it just seems so far-fetched. So then we're going to work with the basics on like, okay, let's just get your budget down. Let's just work there. And then now let's fix your credit. So it sometimes takes a little bit longer for some families, but I don't have the data, but I'd like to get that back to you.
Yeah, no, I love the idea that it's just you're using this to build a foundation of building blocks. I absolutely love that, because sometimes it kind of drives me crazy when there are programs that don't actually put the education and the time into helping the beneficiaries. It's just kind of like oh, well, here's a single occupancy hotel that you can just crash in. Like, giving the education and the knowledge to get that confidence and build that life. It's that, to me, obviously it starts with housing security, but then the education from there, I think, takes it to where the sky's the limit.
Absolutely. I very much agree. And I feel like for our residents, we're actually bringing, service providers, we're bringing community partners to our property to provide these free workshops. And of course, they don't always want to come just for education. So then we layer it, right? We offer dinner or lunch or snacks or whatever we can to try to bring the residents in. So yes, that is something. Education is a huge part of what Hope Through Housing does. But we also do those fun activities so that they try to find the balance, right? And they're intrigued to come in. But really, it's about making the connection with the resident and giving them that place where they feel confident, comfortable, and secure to come in and listen to someone from a partner banking company that's going to talk to them about home ownership.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Are there other questions?
No question, just an affirmation, Christine. Thank you for the comprehensive interdisciplinary connective approach that you guys just presented. It was fascinating to see that you guys have been doing it for so long. And that makes sense to me that you've been doing it for so long because you're doing something so across the breadth of not just trying to plug and play, but to actually serve those in need. So I applaud and celebrate what we got to be a part of today, and we look forward to finding out new ways to go forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much,
Thank you,
Christine.
Christina.
So we're going to go on with our meeting. I will tell you, we have a little portion coming up called Action 360, and we're going to talk about quite a bit of things we're doing for veterans and military families through our Satellite Rotary Club. You're invited to hang out with us the next 10 or 15 minutes. Something may click with you, and perhaps we can go forward in some kind of partnership. We partner all the time. So I'm going to turn it over to keep it moving, turn it over to our fine master. This is your last opportunity to fine of the year.
And where is Steve?
I have no idea, but Steve I'm finding Steve every dime he has left in his fine
I'm
account.
thinking so. We'll just fine him for not being here. I can find myself whatever's my balance for missing the kickout party last week, but I had an amazing vacation. What about the rest of you? What's fine? What's not fine? Or how would you like to find yourself today?
Steve is in Bend, Oregon for a golf trip.
Well, he definitely is losing all of his money. And I will find the balance of my fines for last Saturday, apparently eating multiple hot dogs on national television. As I said, I got blessed with home plate seats, and I got text by Steve Scott. I see you eating a hot dog on national television multiple times. So I had a wonderful time with that my youngest grandson. I see Dominic, he's turned on his video because he wants to laugh. Did you see me on TV too?
No, but that's a great story.
Yes, and I also told Glenn that I was my first day wearing my new progressive lenses, which are not bifocals any longer. So I had half of a beer. I stood up and I couldn't see the steps, so I stumbled, and I had 1,000 people look at me like I was a drunk. I was just it was a great day though. That's the rest of my finds. Who else is going to blow their fines out for the rest of the year?
I will go. So I'm going to find myself the remaining balance of my fines because this morning, plus one day, there's still some work to do tomorrow. But this morning I was able to pass the literal and proverbial gavel of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce from myself over to Mr. Raymond Foster, one that I received last year from Dominic Torres. And then, as soon as I give one away, then I get the Rotary, the reins of the Rotary. So, I'm excited and encouraged that the people that are involved in the Rotary and the Chamber are the people who are in a position of influence and making a difference in the business and the community of San Dimas.
And I gotta say, Dominic, what you started out, and I think you did it originally sort of tongue in cheek, but the way that you originally, when you were 2 years ago and you insisted Mike and then me, and then I did the same thing, we've actually strengthened the succession of leadership because we're looking down the line and recruiting and incorporating 2 years out. And I think that's going to bear fruit 5 or 6 years from now through board development. So hats off to you, Dominic. Whether you not knew it or not, you started a decades-long leadership improvement program, and I'm very pleased to say that you did a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I just was I was trying to look for a coaching tree. I wanted to see how it doesn't. My uncle explained to me a long time ago, you don't you can be the leader, but eventually you won't be. So you have to always look behind you and say, who's behind you that's going to do it. So if you get that coaching tree going, all that success down the chamber line 10 years from now, I get to go like, oh, that, I maybe had a hand in it, you know. But at the same time, it's like you guys are going to go out there and crush it, and I know that. So you guys are going to keep looking backwards. And you're going to do the same thing. Everyone's going to win in that scenario. The chamber looks great. The city does great. It gives one less thing for Sylvia to think about. That's the idea.
Excellent. So anything else, Mr. Fine-Master?
I
I
think
will-
everything's pretty fine. I think we're doing good and going forward. Tomorrow morning, we'll see the state of the city. Thank you, Sylvia, for having a big week this week. You're busy.
Oh, yes.
See you
And
tomorrow morning.
I do want to find myself. I'm not exactly what I'm not sure what the amount is. I know you guys are saying like the
It's the balance.
yeah, I'm like, wait, what does that mean? But $20, why not? So I wanted to thank Raymond, Glenn, Mike, and Dominic, and everybody that came to the event this morning. It was really I had a really good turnout. We had a really good experience. We had great feedback. Thank you so much. And I couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone, for your support. So I guess we go right to Action 360. The most pressing thing we've got coming up is the next food drive for feeding military families. As you know, we're at ton 33, so I want to hit 40 tons with this drive. Interesting, at the meeting last night, the Holy Name of Mary, they're going to be in the Laverne 4th of July parade, and they said, how can we advertise the food drive? And so let me tell you here. Here is what I'd like you to take a look at this. I sent it out to a few people, but you can see this is going to be a banner for them to place on their tram with their members. I also talked to Patrick at the 29 Palms about sending a couple Marines to put on the float. He's going to see if he can get a couple of Marines to come out or to drive them out on the 4th of July. And notice that we've taken the Rotary symbol and the Masonic symbol off of this banner. It's a 3-foot by 6-foot banner, but we're going to order 2 of them. The thing is that this will also go for when we do the food drives, we can put them out on the street side so people can see where they're coming. So ultimately, they will serve multiple purposes. But I was very pleased that Holy Name of Mary wants to do this in the Laverne Parade. So this is a pretty cool thing. I sent it out to Glenn to take a look at, as well as Howard and Rosemary from Holy Name of Mary. If you guys have any comments, you want to take a closer look at it, let me know. But otherwise, probably by the end of the day, we'll be ordering those through Right of Way to get done. As you know, kickoff parties at Dominic's High Point Brew Co. at the 21st. The drive is the 23rd at the Masonic Lodge. Transportation Day is the 25th. We're in discussions to try to palletize the food on Saturday and put them on the truck in the parking lot there on the Saturday with all the volunteers. Because taking it off with pallets worked so well at 29 Palms when we went out there. There's lots of technical issues to work out. We're talking to Ed at United Pumping to see what we can do. We would need to do it on the side of the lodge and maybe classify and inspect the food outside. So there's still some technical stuff to run on that, but that's what we're working on now. I will also tell you that feeding military families, our San Dimas Rotary has been approved by Google as a Google charity. And now I have applied to Google for a grant for AdWords. So hopefully that we'll know in the next few days. And I'm actively trying to recruit a new member who would manage that for us. I also want to take a moment here because it's important. 913, that's coming up for the cornhole tournament. 51% of those funds will go to feeding military families. The rest will go to funding Mike's year for teacher mini grants and all the other giving we do. I'm collecting gifts now. I've collected 3 gift cards from different places for $50 each, one from Shake Shack and 2 from Olive Garden. These Shake Shack, I applied for a grant and they gave me $50. What the heck, right? Olive Garden, I picked those up as an honorarium for speaking. I'm going to just give those on to you guys. So collect gifts, even small ones that we can put together in a packet for the 13th. Also, we're talking to Sylvia, Mike, about using the chamber as a registration point and a funds collection point online, and we'll begin to work all that out on July 1st next week. Anything you want to talk about the cornhole tournament?
No, that's really the primary next step is just, getting that registration open, payment, and being able to, see who's registered, who's paid, and, getting a QR code or a link that we can put on a flyer, and get it in front of people. That's really the biggest thing. I know Steve has been working with Glendora Country Club to get them to donate a foursome as a raffle prize, and we have other raffle prizes in the works as well. But really, yeah, we're going to be about 2.5 months out as of July 1st. So we really need to start getting people committed and registered and paid, because, September gets busy. It's football season. It's a Saturday. We want people committing to this before their calendars fill up.
Mike, you're welcome to come over Friday night. We're running a little cornhole tournament in my backyard, just a barbecue. If you want to MC the cornhole tournament, we'll pitch it and get everybody signed up. I'm serious. We're just having people over for barbecue and cornhole. I think we got about 20 people coming over. If you want to practice running a cornhole tournament, otherwise I'm running the cornhole tournament.
I would love to, but I am actually on a flight Friday morning. We're going to Belize for a week.
Awesome.
So excited. Have never been there. So
man, it's early this year. You always go the first week of August. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah. Well, I didn't plan this trip. That's why.
Good. But enjoy your trip.
Yeah.
So about the cornhole, Dominic, they run that uniform store there at the Armed Services YMCA for all the Marines out there.
Yeah.
That's where you can come. They got the commanding general gave them another space that's much larger for a uniform store, and so they need funds to build shelving and build out the racks and things. And so the purpose of the
Okay.
cornhole tournament, as far as military families go, will be building out the uniform. It's really not a store; it's really a uniform depot where
Yeah.
young Marines can go and get a piece of a uniform they might be missing. And for those of you who don't
Right.
know, that's pretty damn expensive.
Yeah. So, with that build out in there, what's the intent? Is they're going to just put new shelving in?
Well, that's why I've got Patrick drawing up plans and sending me a whole thing of how much he needs. Is it paint? And, can we do a, donate labor thing? But what do they need in material? So that's what we're working on with that.
Okay.
Next thing coming up is on 9/27. That is the wellness fair. And that wellness fair has 6 spots for social organizations. Does somebody from the Rotary want to be found a Rotary booth? That's what I need to know so we can register. Um, we need to register if we want to do a booth for Rotary because we are one of the social clubs in town. I'm throwing it out now. Now is the time to think about it. I'll be pestering you till we find somebody who's willing to run the booth. I want to run the booth for the Masonic Lodge. I can't be in 2 places at once. So it'd be really nice to have a Rotarian there, a couple of people in Rotary just to hand out literature and talk about why they're Rotarians.
I'll tell you right now, I cannot do it. So that's my birthday. I'll be hiking the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
We should ask Rita and Marilyn. They're not here.
Well,
I think
I plan on having my own booth.
I know that's a problem, Mike. I think Rita and Marilyn are probably having their own booths. We're gonna have to find somebody who, the Learn Ed Foundation is gonna have a booth. So that's gonna knock Anthony Porter out. We may just end up everybody's made to wear their Rotary badge while they sit in their own booth. And that may be what we end up doing.
That's perfect.
Because
I wouldn't mind putting Rotary literature in my booth too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can figure out somebody.
And the last thing is for the November 10th, the Marine Corps dinner. Several of us went over to Life Pacific University, signed the contract for the space. We put down the $500 deposit. It will be 240 people. We've already booked a 6-person honor guard from the Band of Brothers VFW in Laverne and a 20-piece fife and drum corps. And so, along with the Lindy sisters, will be back as the entertainment. I'm still looking for a keynote address, but I'll tell you, imagine, for those of you who've been in that big space of Life Pacific, the the 6-person honor guard coming in, followed by a 20-piece fife and drum corps, followed by all the veterans, and then led up on stage and then down into the audience where they'll go to their seats. I think it's going to be a fantastic evening. It's certainly going to be our 5th year of doing it. It's going to be wild, I think. So I'm really excited about this, and maybe my handoff to year 2, I hope. So that's good.
Perfect.
Anyway, we're going to be working on Mike's budget for his year for teacher mini grants and for the support we do for Chaparral and other projects we've got going on. I think by the 2nd or 3rd meeting of July, we'll probably have all that information, so you'll know where we are. Probably the first board meeting, we'll work all that out. That's all I got for Action 360.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Marianne.
I gotta hop
Okay.
off. I gotta jump on another phone call.
Okay. The only thing left to do is the calendar. And I'm pulling it up, doing 2 things at once. You know what? 25, we're in the new calendar. That's awesome. We're in a new calendar year. Okay, is the calendar up? You see the calendar? Okay. So you can see we're dark next week, which is the 4th of July week. Then we have a board meeting. We'll have Lisa Kirkwood in on cultural communications, and then followed by Steve Ham from the Space Force. Pretty much, we're pretty much booked all the way through your governor's visit on the 17th. So if you have a suggestion for somebody you'd like to speak to us, or to be a club guest, let me know. Other than that, that's the calendar I've got. Anything you want to say, Mr. President?
Just that, I value all of your input. Thank you all for showing up. Christine, excellent presentation. Very interested to see how we can continue to partner and grow and get involved. I know it wasn't on the agenda today, but might as well end with the Rotary 4-way test. The ethical test developed by Rotarians of everything we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And if you pass all 4 of those tests, chances are you're acting ethically and doing the right thing. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Raymond, thank you for stepping up and running the meeting. And I will see you all soon. Probably see most of you tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, stay in the city. See you, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.